like before I log off for the night, I felt like I should actually show the tracing and cutting out, because the thing is, this thing is going to get ripped, and I actually found out that I have cardboard. And yes, that says net neutrality on the back, because I still fucking support it. But anyhow, the first thing what we're going to do is we're going to finish cutting out our design. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to be leaving a tiny bit of space. I'm not going to be cutting out the shapes just yet. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut right through the ear, because we only need one ear. That was just a placeholder, so we could see how the ear was going to look. Now, again with the leg, we're going to cut right through there. Now, you can make this thing as one whole piece, and then just make a second piece. But for me personally, I don't exactly recommend doing that. What we're going to do is we're actually going to... Also, this art is copyright to me, so please do not steal my fucking art, because I know there's art theft going around lately. Please, just be respectful. I swear, like, nobody knows how to anymore. Anyhow, we're going to actually match the front leg to the back leg a little better. Now, I know people are going to be like, Scorpion, it's going to be teeny tiny. Well, the thing is, this is just for tutorial purpose. So yes, we're going to have a teeny tiny little EB Dutch plush. It's going to be cute. Anyhow, so, if you notice, the tail goes underneath the design. But the great thing about this is, with a plush, if you understuff something, it'll bend a little bit. That's just a little trick. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this pattern, as lovely as it is, and we're going to be cutting it up. And it's going to look scary, but it's honestly a very simple process. Now, I recommend cardboard. Now, I know some people are probably going to say, like cardstock is better or something else, but I prefer cardboard out of all the methods. What we're going to do is we're going to cut around as best as possible. But firstly, we're going to match up lines. After we cut, we want to make sure we match our lines up. Now, what that does is it just shows us, okay, X goes to X, etc., etc. Now what we're going to do is we are going to cut here, but we're going to leave it a little bit open. We're not going to cut it off fully just yet. We're going to make our lines. You want to make as many lines as possible whenever you're doing this. Like, you do one piece with one line, then you do another with 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 go down the line. Now, you can do the neck separate, but for this case, I'm actually going to leave it on the body. Now, the legs we're going to be cutting out. Now, the legs are going to be a very special case, because one is bent in the back. Now, make our tick marks. And what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to be leaving the tail on the body. Now, what some people like to do is they will actually cut every single piece off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the opposite of that. Now, whenever you do feet and you do legs, make sure you mark which one's the front, which one's the back. Alrighty. And what I like to do is just trim them the best I can. Now, we have our little back leg. This guy is going to be sitting, laying down. He could be standing. If I really wanted to, I could actually make him standing up. But for this, I'm actually just going to be doing a laying down pose. Though, if I really want to, I could make him stand. But the problem with that, we have to repattern, which I might be doing that actually later on with the second plushie. But anyway, next what we're going to be doing with this, we want to take that same marker, take our cardstock, cardboard, whatever you want to use. It doesn't matter. And we're going to just lay it flat. And I apologize if the camera's not down lower. It's just I don't have a tripod anymore, and it's just a pain in the ass to get that right angles. And what you want to do is you just want to trace as best as you can. It's okay if it's not perfect, but just try and get it as best as possible. Because the thing is, you're not keeping this paper template. No, that's going to just go in the trash. Or you could save it for if you want to modify it or something. But what I like to do is I like to have a master template, which basically, in the big fancy terms, just means I like to have one made out of cardboard. And the reason why I like to have a mother template is just so in case this gets ripped, then I have something to work with still. So now, I don't recommend you copy people's templates or copy people's designs. I strongly recommend everyone does it themselves. But there are free tutorials out there. It's just the case of please, please, credit. Please. You will make everyone very happy. You need to credit no matter what. It doesn't matter if your plush is vastly different. It is still very, very important that you credit the source material. Now, what I'm actually going to do is I am actually going to modify my pattern a little bit so I can have him almost with his front leg extending. You know what? We'll see how it goes. Now, we have our mother template. And the thing is, you can do this on like anything. As long as it's a thick, sturdy material. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this baby out. And you can use scissors, you can use an X-Acto knife. You can do this on a flat surface, you can just hold it. And another thing about this dragon is that it's not going to have any tail feathers because I want to keep this just very simple. So, is it going to be a new design? Is it going to be one of my old designs? I don't know. But thing about making plushies is that you want to make sure your patterns are very, very, very exact. And the thing is, it's going to be even smaller than this. And I like that. I like having very small size plushies. The reason why is because my giant plushies that are behind me on my tiny ass dresser take up so much space. I love them to bits. It's just, small plushies are a nightmare when it comes to making the patterns because they're teeny tiny, but they are very, very fun. And the great thing about them is that you can modify these patterns for any of your characters. So if you have your cardboard pattern, trace it out onto paper, modify it, and then you can trace it out on more cardboard and actually have a new template. Now, I just want to say, if you have a curve separating the muzzle and the chin, whatever you want to call that, make it a bit drastic just so it actually shows up. Because sometimes people think that, oh, I don't have to do much on that, it'll just show up anyway. It really won't. You gotta really make it show. I'm going to keep this, even though we have all of our pieces cut. I like keeping cardboard, like Nintendo Labo. So now we have our mock template, and we have our mother template. The reason why I say mock is just because we're going to be taking this, and we're going to just be throwing it out. And now we have our head, our ear, our back leg, our front leg, and the body. And now you want to mark every single thing. And another great thing to do is actually check your pattern. Make sure everything fits properly, because I know some sizes get messed up whenever you're transferring it to cardboard. So, check your pieces. Now, I screwed up, I can tell, because I can actually see I messed up a little bit. There's a tiny gap. Now, the way you can fix that is you can tape a tiny chunk of cardboard in, retrace, or just deal with it. And I'm just going to deal with it. It's going to be a tiny flaw, but I really don't mind. Now, with ears, we will get to that. They have to be separate pieces, though. Unless it has tiny, tiny nub ears, you want it to be a big piece. And the best part is, though, if it's all just one simple color, you don't even have to cut out, like, any pieces. The reason why I cut out the ear for the head is because we're going to be cutting a hole into the head for the ear. The same goes with the wings. So, the thing about wings is that... Where is my cardboard? Here it is. The thing about wings is I have no idea what I'm doing, if I'm going to be making them open, if I want them shut. So I'm not making a template at all. But the thing about wings is you still want to mark them down on your mother template. And obviously you want to make mock-ups. You want to use just shit paper, cheap, crappy paper, and design your wing, put it on your pattern, character, and then just see what you like best. Now, remember that if you do a small plushie, you're most likely going to have unstuffed wings. So if they're outwards, you're going to have to use a wire to actually make them stick. Because the sad truth is, they will flop down and it kind of looks sad. But with my characters, it's no big deal because it's going to be so small that it doesn't really matter. Now, the materials that I am going to be recommending, and I am probably going to be using, are fleece, felt, minky, maybe fur, but you're not going to be using big amounts whenever you do this. So you might want to just get like maybe half a yard of your main color and then about a foot of what other smaller colors. It just depends on the size of the plush. Now with mine, I'm not going to need that much material, especially for a head like this. Now, whenever you make smaller plushies, you are going to be wanting to cut down on the markings. Now, I can hear everybody being all, well, my character has a bajillion markings, blah, blah, blah. Well, the thing is, I can't exactly help with that because I'm not good with it myself. I'm good with it on fursuits. I'm just not good with it like with this. So, you're kind of out of luck. But anyway, you can always just go with a simple design or simple markings or just all one solid color or two colors just as testers. You can actually use felt for your first attempt just in case like something goes wrong or you want to test proportion, anything. It doesn't matter. And if you want to use something like a toy, a model, whatever, as your reference, I say go for it. The thing is, people might think that that's copying. It's really not. If you want to take a stuffed animal that you've had as a child and you want to reference it because you want to remake it or you want to just make one and change the color or something, but you got to credit what you reference no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's Beanie Babies or if it's a toy, whatever, you need to credit. So yes. Anyway, I thank you all very much for watching. Stay tuned for part 3, which is hopefully going to come out tomorrow because I'm exhausted. It might come out, I might release it tomorrow, but film it tonight. But we shall see. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Bye!